So, is Halloween Horror Nights scary? That depends. Primarily on how easily startled and surprised you are, I'd say. But I think the key would be to start early. It's definitely less scary if you start early while it's light outside and you build up to it. So here's some footage from a recent trip of mine where I did just that. Let's take a look. I'm in the Stay and Scream area, the Finnegan's area, or the Scream Early area, or whatever they're calling it now. The music just kicked on. I don't know what time it is. I'm not paying attention. I will say I had a really good time hanging out in Finnegan's in this area, having a drink and listening to some guy on the guitar, which I took video of. So staying in the Stay and Scream areas really let you get into the park as early as possible, so you can do these scare zones and go through. If you're going to do the houses, get going during the day, which definitely tones it down. Sometimes you even run into Jack, like here. Of course, inside the houses, and this is a puppet theater, the front there. There's not much you can do about it, so you're either avoiding that or you're just going to have to go for it and see how much you can handle. And yeah, so sometimes a certain level of scary is unavoidable, as you can see here. But there are reasons why I think the houses are not as scary as they could be. Okay, next thought here. To tone it down, Diagon Alley's open, and there's nothing scary going on in there for the most part, except if you find magical things like that scary. But visiting Diagon Alley at night has some perks, and you can get your butterbeer and do your thing, and it's just one of those lesser talked about benefits of going to HHN Halloween Horror Nights for sure. And then, of course, everyone always wants to see the dragon at night, right? Yeah. So it's not without its potential scary moments. Then, later on at night, once you've worked up to it through the day, you start going through the scare zones at night and test yourself there. This being the Crypt TV scare zone here.
Dave, look, he likes you.
As you can see, this scare zone, they're pretty more or less attached to their spots, except for a few exceptions. Now, if you need some liquid courage, I recommend going here to Ches Alcatraz to get a real drink and hanging out with another potential scary figure, Bruce the Shark. Hello, Mr. Bruce. And if you need to calm down, you can just stare out across the water and enjoy the ambiance and look at some of the lighting from a distance. And, another reason to come, you don't really want to miss at least going through this house, Wicked Growth. This and the Case Files house are my favorite. But this is my favorite entrance for sure, especially at night. So you wanna if you can only think you can handle a couple houses, save it for this one and something else. In my opinion, not the scariest entrance, but it's just cool. The house is a little scarier. So absolutely, I think you should do it. It's not as scary if you take some of my advice here. So give it a shot. Go for it.